Hey, what's going on, guys? Break the Rules is such a good song. It is. If you go on the interwebs and check out the YouTubes, I'm gonna pull it up. Hang on, I have it. This is one of the two videos that I have saved as watch later, even though I've seen them both. Um, and it is Simon Vickland who did this song, going over all the parts of the song, and like basically like he pulled out the session and is like taking it apart. So like
first off, I'd just like
he's talking about the track and like, you know,
material, and then compressor.
he'll pull it apart
and
just play parts of it and like
some effects.
And so this is the vocal section here. He'll play some of it.
Here that can't go in and
Play
out.
some of it.
So this is just the effect channel.
I'm just going over all the parts of it. It's definitely worth a watch. If you're into that kind of thing. I very much am a fan of like multi-track stuff and exploring little chunks and tearing it apart. So definitely something that I have watched more than once, I think. He's done that for one or two songs. I think he asked what to do next. Yeah, and he asked for suggestions and stuff, but I don't know. Definitely something that tickles my inner brain. Speaking of brain tickling, I'm gonna check out some more of the Signal State. It was on sale via the Steam summer session, whatever it is. So I figured might as well pick it up and try it out. We'll see how long Brain is active today. I did intend to do something else, but that didn't work out, so my brain's in like the wrong gear right now. I also don't think it saved my demo results, which is fine. Yeah, because Think Continue or whatever was not working. Our machine stopped working years ago. I'm going to go a little fast because we just did the demo last week. Not just ours, everyone's. Our computers, our appliances, everything. No one knows why. Entire cities ground to a halt. I wasn't even born when it happened. All I can remember were distant dark cities hidden in smog. So, here we are. Building everything from scratch, putting the pieces in the right places. Is this different than the demo? It might be. My radio crackles to life. Nope, it is the same. You should be nearly there. Do you see it? Hold on. Yeah, I think so. The farm. Wow, it's in quite a state. That's where you come in. That farm's your home now, and it needs some fixing. I guess I could settle down and get started. Yes, you're going to be alone for now, but hopefully not for long. Go forth, rebuild. Focus that camera a little bit better. Hey, it's Miriam. We all settled in? Yes, I'm all ready to begin my work. Good. First things first, we need to recalibrate your modular rewiring system. I might have gotten knocked about on your journey to the farm. Ready to begin? Yes. Cool. This is your job. Rewire the circuits to repair the machine. Start with a given source, transform them, and send them to the out sockets. Yep. Send SRC1. Yep. Zoop. No, why we already did this. Yay. Some of this will be a repeat. Oh, why did I start a stream with no iced tea? Also, my mother just texted me. She got me a black and white cookie yesterday, and I forgot to take it with me when I went home. Big rip. Excellent. Your system works perfectly. You're ready to begin. So what now? Start cataloging the machinery on site. Start with the simpler ones. All right, I'll do my best. No, she's not mad at me. I'm just sad. I want that cookie. So, what's the end game here? Why are we repairing this farm? We've already got our current one, and it's giving us enough food. Well, we'll have a surplus of food and more space for our community, for one. But I think we can do more than that. More? It's too early, I think, to talk about that at this juncture. Not everyone here agrees with me on the plan. Not yet, at least. Okay, you can tell me when you're ready. Right. I guess the first thing to work on would be the on-site power generator. Yeah, no cookie. Good plan. It looks like an Ellis Agritech generator. Should be easy enough to rewire. Alright. Interesting. I don't see it for you guys, but for me, it like flashes the intro screen for some reason between everything. So SRC 1 to out 1, but with the signal intensity tripled. Ooh. One, two, three. Wow. Good job. I suspect you'll have a lot more LAS equipment to deal with on your farm. Okay. Circuit breaker. Getting the hang of it? Yeah. Great. Now that the generator is up and running, it's time to route power to the various power lines within the circuit breaker. All right. The numbers as the power is going to confuse you. It's basically saying the number of volts is what it is. Yeah, yes, I understand. Very good. Cool. So basically, if you look, SRC1 is the input. Output 1 and output 2 are the output expected in blue. They're always limited to -100 to 100. Try solving this circuit on your own. Yes. I mean, yes and no. Depending on how you're reading voltage. But yes, you're right. In this idea, this is like low voltage control stuff is how I'm thinking about it. And so you have an input right here that's stepping up and down, and you have an expected output that's, you know, doing all that. So in this case, we want this to be increased by 5 volts. So we can do this, plus 5 volts to the output. As intensity halved. The output. And if we step forward, you can look and see, you know, what we're expecting and what we have on the bottom there. I think it's a lot easier to think of it as control voltage than like power voltage, even though they say control lights and shit. Because yes, you wouldn't feed an LED light variable voltage like that unless you wanted your lights to like disco or something. Excellent. The generator is now able to efficiently route power to whatever systems are needed in it. Time for the next step. Awesome. Looking forward to it. Yeah, it's so weird. Well, it kind of is doing it for you guys too on the VOD. Like, It flashes that intro screen every time it loads something. Time to get the farmhouse lights on. The lighting circuitry is not complicated. Some voltage levels will have to be altered to prevent blowing the lights out. Alright, let's start. Good thing I'm playing it and you're not. I mean, yeah, I guess. Your system contains some functions meant for your convenience. You can change the playback of the signal speed. The signal speed playback cables can be color-coded for organizational purposes. Right-click on an existing cable to update its color. You can ask me for hints if you're ever stuck. The notepad and oscilloscope modules can be useful for debugging and experimenting. Always remember to read your brief for the objectives. Good luck. We can do SRC 1 and 2 into here. Output 1 is SRC 1 and 2 summed together, so we'll do a split. Ooh. No, don't do that. A split for 1, a split for 2, and we'll do a sum of 1, a sum of 2. Subtracted. So I believe what we could do is do negative 100%. And then sum the two together. And go here. And so, alright. I'm curious what the oscilloscope shows. Just over time, the level. Which is interesting, because it's not, what do you call it? Changing all that much, but... Alright, what are we doing wrong here? SRC2 subtracted from SRC1. No thoughts, you're just happy to be here. Oh, I'm subtracting. It's not, I'm doing it wrong. I don't want bias, I want attenuator. I want it to be negative 100 of its value, not to lower the bias adds and subtracts. So I basically did minus 100. What I want to do is negative 100%. That's the issue that I was wrong about. Yeah. But here, if we pause it, it's pretty simple. It's just, this is the kind of game where if you're not playing it, it's very hard to follow. And I get that. But if we break it down, output 1, which is over here, is SRC1, which is one input, SRC2, which is another input, summed together. So we can ignore the oscilloscope because we don't care about it. We're taking that SRC1 and we're splitting it into 2. And we're taking the SRC2 and splitting it into 2. The first output of each of them is just being added together and sent to the output. So if we look, 11 plus 3 is 14, which is what we get, right? For this one, we're adding them together, but we're taking that SRC2, which is 3, and we're turning it negative first. So we're adding 11 to negative 3, getting 8, and sending that to the output. And so as this changes, you can see it went to 13 and 4. We're still adding 13 and 4 here, but we're still adding 13 and negative 4 down here to get 9. Hopefully that makes sense. And if we look at the graph down here, we can kind of see, if we get the right time. SRC1 is 13, SRC2 is 14. We're outputting 17 and 9, and we're expecting 17, or we're expecting 17 and 9, and we're outputting 17 and 9. I believe that's how it breaks it down. So, hopefully that makes sense. You'll have to tell me if it does or doesn't. Obviously, we're gonna get a little bit more complicated than this later, but nice. Excellent. With the lights on, you should be able to get work done even at night. Yeah, it's good. Some of these machines are going to need new modules added to your rewiring system. I'll let Gordon deliver them to you when the time comes. All right. VCA test. This is where things get complicated. start to get complicated. Hello, it's me, Gordon Lee. We met briefly before you departed headquarters. I issued you your modular rewiring system. Right, I remember. I sent a delivery drone over to you with some new modules last night. Did you get it? Yes, you woke me up, thank you very much. I apologize. I thought you might want the new modules fresh out of the workshop. What are these new modules? It does, it's just very technical, it scrambles your brain, which scrambled eggs sound really good, yeah. Yeah, it is technical, and again, it's one of those things like, the same with Factorio, like, if you're not building those blocks from the very beginning, and seeing that 1 + 1 = 2, when you get to like, you know, multiplication or differential equations, like there's no way for you to follow easily without having those basic stepping stones in the game first, you know what I mean? Ah yes, I know them quite well. Awesome. These are pretty bog standard VCAs, so you should feel right at home with them. Let's do a quick test of these. Sure. So, all these voltages are limited to positive 100 and negative 100. If we go this, we can see we got 35 and 80, so we're never going to get over 100 or less than negative 100. What the VCA does, this guy, you see there's an input, a control voltage, and an output. It basically takes that input number, whatever it is, and that control voltage, whatever it is, and makes an output. Now the output is that control voltage, I guess, percentaged? Is that a word? By the control voltage. So if you input, say, a 3, and your control voltage is 100, you're going to get 100 out. Let's make this easier. If you input a 100, and your control voltage is 100, you'll get 100 out. If you input 100 and your control voltage is 3, you're going to get 3 out. If your input is 50 and you input 50, you'll get 25 out. So it's basically division, a divider, not a, if you will. At each time step, out1 receives a specified percentage of SRC1 signal. The percentage value is specified by SRC2. So if we do SRC1 as the input, SRC2 is the control voltage, and we do the output, we're basically taking this, dividing it by, not really dividing it, but you're percentaging it. Yeah, output equals the input times the control voltage percentage. So we're multiplying it by the percentage. And if we step through this, let's see. 35 is the input, 80% of 35 is 28, so that's the output. The input's 45, 60% of 45 is 27, so that's the output. Division, yes, but the good thing is we don't actually need to know division. We just need to know that this multiplies by the, you know, not divides, but you know what I mean. We don't need to know that this multiplies by the percentage. I mean, we don't need to know how to multiply by the percentage. We just need to know that it does multiply by the percentage. And actually, if we look, too late. There's that circle around the control voltage, shows how much of that percentage in a, not a sphere, a circle, the amount of the circle that's closed, I guess. Great job, you're natural at this. Yeah, I think I'm getting good at this. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. We've only just started. But you just said, hey, I just heard from Gordon, good work. Thanks. Barn lights. More lights to jumpstart. The barn lights are a bit more complicated. They have variable intensity controls for when the horses get grumpy, I guess? I'll give it a shot. Alright. Click on any timestamp to make a breakpoint. So a breakpoint just stops us at that point. So if I put a breakpoint, yeah, thank you. If I put a breakpoint here and we hit play, it's gonna stop. I have it specified to stop right before the breakpoint, technically. Send SRC1 to out1, but with its intensity boosted by 50%. So what we could do is do a split. SRC1 could go in there, and we'll send it to here. So I'm going to take 50% of that signal and add it to itself, the full signal, to get 150%. Send SRC1 to out 2, but with its intensity boosted by percentage specified by SCR2. So we will take SRC1 here. Now we'll take SRC2 here. And we'll get rid of this. We don't need this. We need sum again. And we'll sum SRC1 with that percentage of SRC1 specified by SRC2. And go to the output. And I believe that's what we want. Yes, get out of here. Yep. So to reiterate, we're basically saying we'll take 18, we'll take 50% of 18, which is 9, and add it back to 18, and that becomes 1. And for this one, we're going to take 18 and take 60% of it and add it back to 18, which becomes SRC2. Can I move these? Oh, I can. Didn't realize that. Work begins. Complete the tutorial achievement. Good. Great job. If we find any horses, I know where to bring them now. A horse would be nice indeed. Firmware Programmer. Before we proceed any further, we need to repair the workshop's Firmware Programmer, a vital piece of kit for burning firmware on some of your more advanced modules. It's digital and operates with binary signals. The VCA is still useful though. You can use it like a gate. Got it. Let's get started. So a gate will either let stuff in or not. Either it's 100% of the signal or 0% of the signal. SRC2 is a binary signal. When it's at 100 volts, send SRC1 to output 1. Otherwise, send 0 volts to output 1. So that's pretty easy. We can just take this. SRC1. SRC2. And the output. That should be all we need. Yeah, because we're either finding 100% of it or 0% of that number. There you go, simple enough. The real challenge with using VCAs as gates in this way is generating this control voltage signals. You need to generate a signal value that is at 100 volts when you want it, and at 0 volts any other time, and nothing in between. Sounds simple enough. Not always, it can get a bit tricky. You'll see soon enough. Can't wait. Power regulator. The power regulator on the firmware programmer is a bit more complicated. It's a dual transistor circuit, so you have to check the binary values of 2 different signals. Alright, I'll give it a shot. SRC2 and 3 are binary signals. When they're both at 100 volts, send SRC1 to output 1. Otherwise, send 0 volts. Okay, so what we can do is do this. And we do 2 and 3. Oh, oops. We're gonna need that too. Oh, no, we're not. No, easy. So basically we're saying if SRC2 is 100% and 3 is 100%, generate 100% here. So this is 100% and then let that signal through, otherwise nothing. Nice work. I think you understand VCAs pretty well now. Thanks. Logic test. I think this was where the demo ended with this mission, right? Excellent. Now that the firmware program is working, we can get the logic modules working and give them a test. Sure, let's go. If SRC 1 and 2 are both 100 volts, send to 100 volts to output 1. Otherwise, send 0 volts to output 1. If SRC 1 and or SRC 2 are at 100 volts, send 100 volts to output 2. Otherwise, send 0. If SRC 1 and 2 are both at 0 volts, send 100 volts. Okay. So what we can do... we'll split this. And we could split this, right? We'll do and, so if output 1 and output 2 are both 100 volts, output 100 volts. Let's see, we'll grab an OR. So if that or that is 100 volts output. And then I remember we wanted a not. So we wanted to do not and not. So if not that and not that are at 100. Oops. I think we might need another not. Let's see. Yeah. Wow, it was only that first one that was wrong? No, okay. Oh, because I am dumb. I did input SRC1 and SRC1, not SRC1 and SRC2. That's surprised at how much of it was correct for that. So this one wasn't too crazy either. Basically, we're saying if they're both 100 with this AND function, it's 100. With this OR function, we're saying if either one is 100, we're saying it out. And with the two nots and the AND together, we're saying if either one is not 100, no, if they're both not 100, send 100. Logic modules are really powerful. You're not just doing basic math now. You can change how signals flow with logic. Okay, I think I see what you mean. Min-max test. So here, we're going to need min and max modules. What do these do? What the name suggests, min takes in two inputs and outputs the smaller of the two. Max does the opposite, it outputs the bigger. Okay, admittedly, it was kind of obvious. Yep. Alright, let's give it a shot. Did I see the Pokemon Sleep thing? They want you to get this, have your phone charging lying in your bed, open with the app running. Yes, I did not see that. However, I'm familiar with the concept. There used to be a bunch of sleep apps that would do the same thing. They would track your sleep habits to let you know, obviously they were farming your data too, how well you're sleeping and all that. And it was the same concept. You used to have to leave your phone on, usually face down, so the gyroscope can run all night and feel how you're moving around and record you snoring and saying weird things in your sleep. Back in, 2011, 2010, when data and phones were new and like nobody knew that was a thing, like people did it, no problem. But now that people know that like companies are literally farming your data for things like that, I will not be surprised if people do it because people are idiots. But I'm disappointed that a company would just blatantly do that, I guess. But then again, I'm sure it's, who is it? Is it Niantic or is it the Pokemon Company or is it Nintendo? The three of them. Is that not vaguely dangerous with the charging thing? You feel like there's a chance for something bad to happen? I mean, I will say I personally leave my phone in the corner of the bed while I charge it. It doesn't get that hot. But I also have my phone set to charge slower over the course of the night so that it's charged a little bit before I wake up. I don't have it go at, 4 billion watts and charge instantly like some people do, but Yeah, I mean, there's some inherent danger charging your phone at all, but you know that's why we have the testing company, the UL and all that stuff to make sure that stuff doesn't happen. The phones don't get too hot and they don't go crazy and roast anything. Let's see. SRC1, SRC2, and SRC3 are random signals. Out1 receives the greatest signal of the three. Out2 receives the smallest. Okay. So we can do a split. A split. Do I need to split them all three? Yeah, I mean, granted, they said this wasn't the case, but if you remember, when Pokemon Go came out, it wanted access to your contacts, your email, your phone book, your access to your messages, and you're able to make phone calls and all that bullshit. They said it wasn't, they didn't actually need that, you know, it wasn't a real thing, but how many people on launch just said, oh yeah, sure, access my emails, like, eeh. So that should be the minimum. And this should be the maximum. If I did my math right. Yeah, definitely wouldn't be the first time. Me personally, I'd be more worried about A, burn-in on the screen, which I'm assuming they're just going to have it be dark, and B, my data being stolen by Pokemon. I don't trust them to not track my sleep habits and sell them, and or, I mean, who knows? Like, back then, phones couldn't really do a whole ton. Now, maybe they can infer your heart rate and shit. Like, I know they can do that with the camera, and like your watch has that kind of thing built in. Like, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. All right, you got it. Anyway, enough hand-holding. Let's try some more complex circuits. All right. That's a spirit. :D. Or is that a semicolon? I never remember. Irrigation system. I trust Gordon has done his job well. You should be decently familiar with how VCAs and logic modules work. Yeah, I think I'm getting the hang of things. Good. We can now move on to the next step. We need to prepare the crop fields for planting. That will require a functioning irrigation system. And how do we fix that? The first component is the central pump. It provides a very precise rate of flow of water. You'll need to regulate the flow using the given control signals. Combine the concept you've learned so far, VCA gating and logic. Okay, I'll give it a shot. When you got your iPhone, you learned like 2 months into it that you can track your eyes on the screen or not. Yep. No worries. It knows when you're looking, when you're giving it attention, and when you're not. When SRC2 and SRC3 are at 100 volts, send SRC1 to output 1. Okay, let's tackle this first. So, split 1, split 2, split 3. 1, 2, 3. SRC2 and 3 are at 100 volts, so I'll take VCA here. SRC2 and 3 are at 100 volts. Send SRC1 to output 1. So it looks like we need a summation. Wait, how can I plug it in here? There's no card edge connector there. In fact, they don't even line up. I guess they do. Sort of. There we go. If either SRC1 or SRC2, but not both, are 100 volts, send the inverse of SRC1 to output 1. Oh boy. If both SRC and SRC3 are at 0 volts and 0 volts, yeah, okay. So, can I do... In a world that never... no, this is programmable logic. You have your and, your not, and your ors. I gotta think through how I want to do this. I mean, I thought a really fucked up way I could do it. Humor me for the sake of humor here. Hang on a second. Actually, no, that won't work. I was going to say, I can do 50%, 50% and add them, so when it gets 100, I could say, you know, 100 VCA to blah, blah, blah. That won't work. This will do if they're more than 0, not if they're 100. So it definitely won't work. Yeah, plug the wires in to get the stuff you want. So I think if I do not to... Can I? Is this legal? I don't think so. Yeah, no. Let's see, where is this going wrong? We're getting negative 100. Oh, that's not... duh. Okay. That is not what I want. That was what I wanted. Let's see if that does any better. No. Getting 0. Okay, so this logic is not working correctly. That gets me if both, but I want not both. Give me a second. Let me think about how I want to approach this. Not both. I mean, if this is 100, we could do that to here. Now, what if we duplicate that here? How much of a mess do we get into? I think we're gonna get into a big mess if we do this, but let's see. Yeah, because they're both 100. So, ooh, hang on. Am I making this a lot harder than it needs to be? I think I am. We do not that. And not that. And then VCA. What do we get here if we start doing this? Negative 18. Not that. Oh, okay. Brain might have just turned on a little bit. Wait, no. Brain turned off a little bit. Hang on. Stick a knot in there. Oops. Yeah, we want that to be 0 when they're both there. Doing a great job. Oh, thank you. So this is working. I need an exclusive OR. Hang on. How to build an XOR. XOR. Just show me easy. I just want easy XOR, please. They have not ors and ands. Is that as the simplest I can make it out of? Oh, yikes. All right. I'm perfectly fine looking up how to do not ors. Okay, I see what they're trying to make me do. So we do a not and an and a not and an and for both. and those two both go to an OR. Wait, no. That. These both go to an OR, and that output can control this, and then we want to attenuate that to negative 100%. And add that to the signal. Okay, I get it. I get it. So you're basically saying if brains. All right. You're basically saying if input 1 and the inverse of input 1, excuse me, if input 1 and the inverse of input 2 are the same, light up. Or if input 2 and the inverse of input 1 are the same, light up. I'm probably going to need to re-reference that later, but let's see. I like how it slows down while I was doing all this math. It is spaghetti wires. It's okay. Oh, what is this? Copy? Ten modules was the best. I used 13. Excellent work. Thanks. Can you hear the water flowing through the pump? That's the sound of life right there. Exciting times. Indeed. Irrigation distribution circuit. Now that the pump is working, you need to rebuild the distribution circuit. The circuit takes the water flow and distributes it to the different irrigation channels. I'll get started. SRC1 is an input signal. SRC2 and 3 are control voltage signals for two separate VCAs that control the intensity of SRC1. If SRC1's intensity is higher when controlled by SRC2, send SRC1 controlled by SCR2 to output 1. Otherwise, if SRC1's intensity is higher when controlled by SRC3, send SRC1 controlled by SRC3 to output 1. Oof. So basically, we want to get a max in here. What is this? That is copy, okay. I don't know how does copy help you from here. I guess so you don't have to go down here, but SRC1, SRC2, and SRC3. If we take 2 and we take 3, we get the max output, right? We don't have and or anything like that? Oof, okay. What's going on, old man? I mean, shouldn't that just be... literally just be this? So we just take the higher intensity? Now, why was that wrong? Expected -7, got -14. Why? If SRC1's intensity is higher when controlled by SRC2, send SRC1 controlled by SRC2 to output 1. Plug it in and get the money. Yeah. Otherwise, send SRC1 controlled by SRC3 to output 1. Is that because it's negative? But I know why. It's because 40% of negative 50 is a lower number than 20% of negative 50. But I liked my way better, even though it was wrong. Basically what I was doing was I was taking which of the control signals was a higher number and then doing the VCA on that, but that is wrong when the SRC1 the input signal is negative, because a negative number times a positive number, that's a greater positive number is a greater negative number, or a more negative number. Help me. I wasn't prepared for brain today. I was up till like 3 a.m. because I couldn't sleep. Good work. The irrigation system is nearly up and running. Oh, what else? The sprinkler heads need calibration. Irrigation controller. This is the last step for the irrigation system. The circuit, is the central irrigation controller. It receives, the signals from the main pump and the sensors and controls the water flow. Once I'm done here, what's next? You'll see. Okay. When the signal from SRC1 is more than 25, output 1 receives 100 volts. Otherwise, it receives 0 volts. Output 2 checks the value of SRC1's signal after it has been decreased by 25 volts. If the signal is still more than 0, output 2 receives 100 volts. Otherwise, it receives SRC1 decreased by 25 volts. Alright, let's dissect this down. I need to do this for sure. Output 1 is going to be split a whole bunch. Max, min, and not or. I abuse the or. So let's see, that should work for that. Yeah, so this top one is good. We're receiving what we want. Now for the bottom one. If the signal is still more than 0, output 2 receives 100 volts. So we want to do max. No. If it's still more than 0, it receives 100 volts. We want to do a sum. Into here, no. We want to do a split. I kind of wish that these were not expanded like that, because sometimes it's hard to pick one object. Like if I want to choose max, I have to or if I want to choose and, it ends up being, whatever. You know what I'm saying. If the signal is still more than 0, output 2 receives 100 volts. Otherwise, it receives SRC1 decreased by 25 volts. Hey, thank you, Al. Did it get any better from the demo? So I played the demo like last week, so I don't know if the demo, how different it is in this. I haven't been looking at the scoring system. I'm assuming it's still jank. It looked like people had like instant times and stuff like that. So it gets better in the form of puzzles, but it's not better in the form of meta operations, I guess, is what I'm thinking. I think that's what I want. Let's see. I kind of lost my brain. It is not. That is expecting 100. Oh, I think I wanted to be max on a min. That'd be negative 70. Oh, wait. Okay, I see what I'm doing wrong. I gotta think about this a little harder. The output signal is still more than 0. Output 2 receives 100 volts. So if this is greater than 0, which is this number here. Output 2 receives 100 volts. Otherwise, it receives SRC1 decreased by 25 volts, which is this. But that's wrong. No, that's right. So I'm dumb. It's that easy. It's sitting in front of me, and I'm like, ugh. So here, we can look this over a little bit and see. Time taken, 19 seconds. Worst. I'm sorry, 19. It's not 19 seconds. There's no way. Oh, it's the best time in the world. Worst was 1100 minutes, and I took 6 minutes 22 seconds. All right, so it's not instant anymore, but Yeah. Maybe the demo had that janky scoring system, and this is less abused. I don't know. Good, things are starting to come together. All right, what's the next step? I'm sending you the specs now. I'm gonna do one more puzzle and take a break. Hit the bathroom. Radio broadcast system. Oh, is this the bonus in the demo? The next step, I'm going to need you to calibrate the farm's radio broadcast system. All right, I'll get to it. Wait, Miriam, why do you need them to do that? Their portable broadcaster works just fine for communicating with us. Shouldn't they work on vehicles first? Miriam, it's not for communicating with us. What do you mean? I will explain soon. Start the work on the broadcast system first. Okay. Oh, maybe it's not. SRC1 is a random signal with occasional voltage spikes. Voltage spikes are at least 75 volts. Send SRC1 to out 1, but with the voltage spikes filtered out. At timestamps with voltage spikes, send 0 volts instead. Okay. So let's do this. And if we have... $75, we can do minimum. We want minimum. That would get us whichever one's least. You have peanut brain? It's alright. You say the same thing. I don't know any Japanese, so we all have our strengths and weaknesses. So this gets us the minimum of 75 or that. So this is not going to work. Hang on. What if we subtract 75? Hang on. And then multiply it by negative 100. What are we getting here? Let me see. Why is this going crazy here? 8. Oh, duh. That only helps me for ones where it's higher. Okay. I have another dumb idea. I know this is not how they want me to do it. But if I add 25 to the signal, right? This is so dumb. And then subtract 25 from the signal. Anything over 75 should clip, right? No, apparently not. Why not? What is that, 91? Oh, it clips to 100. It doesn't, yeah, all right. Well, clipping doesn't help us. Clipping does not help us. I don't think 50 is going to help either, because that we won't get the original number back. Cause say it outputs 60, which is a valid thing. So the 75. 60 plus 50 is gonna come up as 100 because it clips at 100. Minus 50 is gonna be 50, not 60. So that would be wrong. Yeah. Yeah, it's outputting 40 instead of 0, right? Because it wants a 0 if it's over 75 too. Okay. Oops. I need to brain for a few minutes here. Hang on. What does this get us here? Plus 25 minus 9 is 25. Why was that wrong? We expected 9. Oh, because we didn't subtract the 25. Wait. We didn't subtract the 25. I need to actually do this instead of trying to do it a cheap out way. But the thing is, I'm not 100% sure what is the right way, so I have to think on that. I mean, this is a great way to get 25 every time. It turns out, if you take a number, add 25 to it, and then subtract the original number, you get 25. Who would have thought? I just figured out one of those math equations, like, you know, where you always get the same number that you put in. Amazing. Let me think. Give this man a PhD, yeah. I have an engineering degree, no worries. -12. It's not what I want, though. Bring me back to the TIS 3000 where I have if statements, please. I'm sure once I think of what I need to do, it'll fall into place. I just need to actually think of what I need to do. 100. Yes, that this is can generate just a straight up number if I needed to. So let me see. I do that and do this. What does that get me? Hey, thank you for following. Okay, that did it. All right. So basically what we're doing is we're taking that input, we're adding, or we're subtracting 75 to it to get a negative number, and then adding that to the original. If that number is greater than 0, we are turning off the VCA. Otherwise, we're letting the original signal through. I'm sorry. Yeah, if it's greater than 0, we're turning off the VCA. So in this case, -4 minus 75 is -79. When added back to -4, that's -83, which is not higher than 0. Therefore, we're turning the VCA on. Let me find one that goes above. 5 minus 75 is -70, plus 5 is -65, still not above 0, right? 92 minus 75 is 17, 17 plus 92 clips at 100, because it should be 109, but it clips at 100, but it doesn't matter, it's greater than 0, and therefore we don't let anything through. I wonder how many logic pieces the average is, though. Let's see. Retrieving. Okay. I used 18 pieces. The best was 10. The worst was 50? Who's using 50 pieces? Oh, I'm sorry. Modules used 6. Not what's rack space? What are we defining as rack space? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I don't give a shit about rack space. I used 6. The best was 4, so I was only a little bit behind the best number of modules. Cool. All right, I'm happy with that. Like I said, I'm going to take 5 minutes. I'm gonna hit the bathroom, grab a drink. And, I don't know, maybe find a way to make my brain not be melting for a few minutes. So I'll be back in a few, and we'll continue with the signal state. What's going on, Where? Yeah, I'm breaking things. I'll be back in a minute to break things more. I'll see you guys in a sec. These interaction reminder things get weird, so I know you guys are smart people. You do what you want. I'll catch you later.